February 9th, 9:47 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby, number 1. Because we're number 1. Alright, it's been a while.
Been a while, so I feel like Phoenix Wright in whichever game it was that he woke up in court with amnesia going, where am I? Why am I here?
Yeah, it's very accurate. Alright, so this recap is more for Rhino's sake. You guys have seen stuff like probably in the last video. You know, which was probably like a week ago at most. You know what's going on. But I'm... What?
Can I just say what I remember and you can fill in the blanks?
Sure. Start from the top. And that's where we're heading now. So after almost 10 minutes of going over everything, which might actually be cut out just because it took forever, and the viewers already know it, let's get to work.
Right, this is me.
Yep.
Oh my, Mr. Loris feels that way about me?
I hope I'm doing at least passably close to what I did last time.
Yeah.
Apparently, he isn't aware of your real secret at all.
Oh yeah, she does have an actual real secret, and it's something that she didn't want Phoenix to know. I don't think we actually know what that secret is yet. Unless the secret is just, I love Phoenix.
This is no time to be embarrassed.
I'm sorry.
Or crying.
I'm just hardly accustomed to that sort of thing.
Worry not, and in any case, whatever it was that he saw on the night of the incident, mark my words, I will drag it out of him.
She's got like that pose now, which makes me think she's thinking, yeah, you get that bitch.
Everyone thinks that.
Does that mean Mr. Loris is the witness today? And I find that this voice is oddly close to Maya's and Pearl's, and so I'm becoming self-conscious?
No.
Oh, okay then.
I believe that this nun will be the first to take the stand.
Sister Bikini, whose name makes me laugh.
She claims to have seen the very instant in which you carried out the crime.
Oh yeah, one other thing, is that, just to remind you, Rhino, because Edgeworth is a prosecutor pretending to be a defense lawyer right now, for Phoenix's sake, he had to arrange for a judge and prosecutor that wouldn't recognize him, or at least wouldn't call him out. We've come to the conclusion the judge is probably Super Saiyan Canadian judge.
Yep.
We don't know yet who the prosecutor is going to be. All we know is that Edgeworth pulled one in himself, so...
You think it's Max Payne?
For a moment, I was imagining the Winston paint, and I was like, wait a minute.
Wait, that's who I meant, I think.
You said Max Payne, though. You're thinking Winston Payne, and that's him, Winston Payne. Oh yeah, ellipses.
Dot.
I just want to ask you one last time. It really wasn't you who killed Miss Elise Donham, correct?
That is correct. It wasn't me.
Very well, then. I think I'm going to give her a slightly deeper voice than the Maya one to sort of differentiate it.
Mr. Edgeworth?
Yes?
You are a prosecutor, aren't you? Are you sure about this? If your true identity is revealed.
Don't worry, I've taken the necessary steps.
Oh yeah, they're going to go over it now, I think.
You have?
Iris...
is backwards for Siri.
It is the prosecutor's job to doubt people. But right now, I am a defense attorney. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. A defense attorney's job is to believe in people, and to believe until the bitter end when that person stabs someone in court and they're like, okay, maybe they did it. That's what a friend of mine told me once. It was a very strange analogy.
Mr. Edgeworth.
You may pass judgment on me from the defendant's chair. You are the one to decide. Actually, the judge is, and he will also be passing judgment.
Actually,
but you know what? You can pretend you can.
But she decides something else.
Yes, that. Whether or not I am able to do the task I have been entrusted. That's what you will be deciding. Also, it occurs to me you also have a Magatama, so I'm wondering how common are those damn things?
Very well, sir. I shall leave my defense in your capable hands.
When we got the Magatama, it was nothing at all, and then Pearl charged it with spirit energy, and then it lets us do stuff. So I think a Magatama is like just a symbol, but because it's connected with the spirit world, it was able to be charged and used as it is because of Pearl. But remember, Iris has no spiritual power, so.
There you go.
Alright. February 9th, 10 a.m.
Excuse me.
District Court. Courtroom number 7.
Oh.
I have summoned the invisible prosecutor.
Hey, we were right.
Court is now in session for the trial of Sister Iris of Hazakura Temple. Hey?
The defense is ready, Your Honor.
The defense does indeed appear to be ready. However, the same cannot be said for the prosecution in this case.
Indeed.
I'm not sure I like such blatant waste of this court's time. An empty prosecutor's chair can only mean that the prosecutor has no confidence in their ability to prove their case. It would seem this case is already over before it had a chance to begin.
And thus the dogs are barking?
I am ready to announce my verdict at this time. This court finds the defendant. Why?
Well, it's me versus me.
What makes you think she's not gonna recognize you?
Yeah, she knows exactly who he is.
She's your goddamn sister!
Essentially. The prosecution stands ready.
And you are?
Franziska von Karma, prosecuting prodigy.
Von Karma, you say? Perchance,
yes, I do.
You wouldn't be of any relation to the legendary prosecutor Manfred von Karma.
Legends are a thing of the past. I am a von Karma, that is all. Upon a special request, I flew in today for the purposes of prosecuting this case. Then again, I think Edgeworth can probably assume she'll be relatively unbiased. And that she'll just go just as cutthroat at him as she would any other time.
Yeah, maybe he was just like, here, do me a solid.
Come fight at me. And she's like, yes.
Oh, maybe that's it. Maybe it's like, you get a chance to see if you're better than me, but you can't say a word about this, sort of thing.
She's just like, deal.
Then you must be quite a big shot, eh? By the way, Mr. Edgeworth.
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm almost certain that I've seen you somewhere before, or am I just imagining things? You look very much like a prosecutor I met once.
I believe you are imagining things, Your Honor.
What are you doing?
Sorry, I was entangling some wires.
Okay. Ms. von Karma, do you have anything to say?
There is no such weakling as this man among those of the prosecutor's office.
There isn't. But I'm sure once before this courtroom... Ah!
I told you there is no such weakling.
What is that? A whip? I'm not sure I care for such a thing in my courtroom. Thank you.
Yes, someone calls her on it.
Bailiff, remove that whip and...
I have no objection to the whip.
I do! You don't.
The prosecution can wield a whip or drink 17 cups of coffee. There is still only one truth. That is what I stand here to prove today. This promises to be interesting, Miles Edgeworth.
Why is there like an echo on your thing now? Like reverb?
Because I'm in the kitchen.
Okay. Can you not? Never mind.
I'll be out soon enough.
Alright.
I had expected... Yeah. I had expected to face Mr. Felix Wright here today. But looking at you now... Maybe this is what I have been waiting for all this time. Miles Edgeworth, I will not allow this chance to crush you, slip through my fingers.
The fact that he's now mirrored and on the left side instead of the right makes his actions look so different and weird.
I see you brought your flair for the histrionic.
Allow me to add to the things I'm not sure about. People acting bizarrely in my court.
The stage is set. Now continue with the proceedings, Your Honor.
Very well. Ms. Von Karma, please give an outline of this case, eh? With as little whipping as possible.
Aww. The murder victim is the famed picture book author, Miss Elise Donen. Her body was found in the Hakazora Temple courtyard.
Hazakura.
I got it close enough, damn it. I'm trying to read fast because I'm damn Von Karma.
Hanamura!
She had been stabbed through the torso by a ceremonial sword from the golden statue, whose sword is not golden, strangely enough.
The sword in this picture is the weapon in question, correct? Very well. The court accepts this photo of the crime scene.
Dee-dee. There's no mistake. This was the doing of Sister Iris.
Do-do-do. Alright.
I don't really see anything particularly wrong with that picture right now.
I know, but just commit as much of it to memory as you can, so in case we remember that something doesn't add up.
Face down. Maybe should be 2 stab wounds because one of the branches is going in her back.
I don't think it's gonna
Unless there was one ahead of it on the blade.
I don't think they're gonna go like that. Unless, if I'm pretty sure if they say 1 stab wound, that means they were stabbed once. But, the fact that she's...
Puncture marks, I guess, would maybe be the terminology for that.
The fact that she's face down might be important. Also, I'm gonna look over at just whatever else we have. Photo of Elise. Okay. She's a witch. Iris' testimony. Rang lights up at 10 p.m. and was then in her room until the murder was discovered. Autopsy report, 10 to 11 p.m. Loss of blood from stab in back. Body fell 10 feet after death.
Fell 10 feet after death.
Assuming that's correct and not going to be adjusted at any point. That means that she was stabbed, thrown off, and then stabbed again with the sword. Because, remember...
Do you think she could have been tossed down onto the sword as it was being held by the statue?
No, because remember... Also, you're breaking up probably from being in the kitchen, so get finished in there.
Alright.
Because that happens whenever you go in the kitchen as you start breaking up. Because here's the thing. First off, remember that Bikini says she saw Iris stab Elise in the back. And while Bikini could have been lying, and might be the killer, though I somehow don't see it, well, it could be the case. It seems more likely that it's like... Because last session, we tossed the idea around that somebody had channeled Dahlia, because Dahlia's dead from death penalty, and maybe Dahlia did the killing while using that person's body. And if that's the case, that would explain why she saw someone and thought Iris, because Iris and Dahlia look the same, assuming they're 2 separate people, which at this point, I'm very certain they are. I don't know why they look alike, but whatever. And then, which means that whether or not Dahlia stabbed her afterwards or did the initial killing as well, that means she was killed, tossed down, and then Dahlia stabbed her. Assuming that Dahlia did possess someone. You got all that? Oh, say something?
Hi.
Okay, I couldn't hear you before.
Yeah, I unmuted myself to talk to you, and that you were acting like you still couldn't hear me for some reason, and I adjusted nothing, and yet you can hear me now.
Okay. First off, Rhino, don't assume I'm acting like I can't hear you. I can't hear you, because Skype sucks. And second off, the reason I said something again was because I heard clicking all of a sudden, and I realized that you were typing or something. So I thought that your mic just fixed itself or whatever. Alright. So we have that stuff. We also have the temple map. So, this is the area. Alright, I think we're basically done here looking at all this, so... let's move on.
After all, there is a witness to her crime.
Very well. Please bring this witness to the stand.
And so it begins. My first and last trial as a defense attorney.
Witness, the blooper!
Witness, state your name and occupation, please, and show your face.
Hold on here. I'm not sure about being not sure if I care for this at all. What?
What? What there?
Witness, please stand up nice and straight.
If I recall correctly, there are a few milk crates in the defendant's lobby for witnesses with bad backs.
Bailiff, fetch a crate for this poor lady, please.
I might leave and rejoin the call because the call itself is getting a little bit PowerPointy.
All right, I guess.
Once again, your name and occupation, please.
What voice did I give her? Little old me. Well, I'm the head nun of Hazakura Temple on Eagle Mountain. My name is Bikini. You got it? Bikini. Nice to meet everyone. But you don't appear to be wearing a bikini right now. Oh, well,
No, Judge. The courtroom is the garden of only judgment. Those with lechery in their heart should leave the sanctuary at once.
It's a courtroom or a church? You want me to leave?
Aha, so you admit it.
No need to get your bikinis in a twist. Let me tell you, I'm a sight to behold in summer.
In any non-brain bleaching case.
I want to point out, by the way, that I just realized. So we've had 2 cases, one that we've played. Okay, 3 cases because Dahlia was in 2 of them. Because there's the 2 Dahlia cases, and then in the first game, the April-May case, where everyone except the defense attorney is completely smitten by the witness and constantly on her side. If Francisca was around, pretty sure that shit wouldn't fly.
Yeah, probably.
Because you know how Francisca is. She wouldn't be smitten. And as soon as the judge says anything, it would just be, whip, pay attention! It's like, I would fully approve of it then.
Yep. Witness, I hear that you saw the crime in place take on the night in question.
Ew, sorry, you got your words mixed up there, but that's right. I can still hardly believe it myself, to be honest. There's no way dear little Iris could do anything like that. Let us hear what you have to say then. First, tell us about your own movements that night, eh? About your own movements about the house, about the hoose. I can't actually say it, like, I can't do a boot and hoose in the same sentence. Stop laughing before I have to go Super Saiyan 3 on you, eh?
Does your beard get longer or do you grow hair again?
Anyway.
B.
The night of the murder.
That's his heckler.
That night I was helping an acolyte with her training in the inner temple, but, well, as you can see, my back likes to act up violently. I'm realizing their voices are actually kind of similar. So I left Iris to help the acolyte and returned to Hazakura Temple. We're probably going to present Iris' testimony on that spot. There's no bath at the inner temple, you see, and I needed a long, hot soak. It was after I had finished, just as I was heading back. That's when I saw it! My eye lasers are activating! So it was simply coincidence that you found yourself returning to Hazakura Temple. Yes, you could say that. If my back hadn't been in so much pain, I would have stayed at the inner temple.
Sounds like a pretty important statement she just made.
There is only one problem with this testimony that I can see. And you're not about to fall at the first hurdle now, are you, Miles Edgeworth?
Mr. Edgeworth, please begin your cross-examination. Alright. Should I just go with the presenting?
Let's see. I honestly, I wasn't in the mindset of trying to pick out the flaw.
Well, I'm pressing it, I guess.
But why didn't you? Okay.
I did that accidentally. I clicked outside. I clicked outside the thing, and if you click outside, it defaults that as a click to whatever button is closest, which was press.
What is this inner temple?
Well, see, conversing with the spirits is what we train people to do, right? We'll be the ones asking you the questions, madam.
They are similar.
In order to do that, a place strong in spiritual power is required.
There's a small temple across Dusky Bridge called the Inner Temple. Acolytes must spend an entire night there to undergo intense training.
And how exactly do you help with this process?
It is all quite exacting. It can't be performed without a nun supervising.
Like a tutor, watching to make sure a spoiled child studies.
Tutor with a whip in your case. If that is the case, then why did you return to Hasagura Temple where the murder took place? It was your back, I already know this.
Yeah, but they do the segues, so. Alright, I'm trying to remember how I do the save states. Give me a moment. Yep, we last recorded this in October of last year. I did not mean to press that again.
Violently.
That's right. It's no laughing matter, especially in winter. I can't hold anything heavier than a knife and fork during the cold months. Just being alive is like strict training. Wahaha! Wahaha! Wahaha!
On the night of the murder, was this fabulous back of yours hurting again?
That's right. Raging like a bull in a pig pen. I almost fainted once or twice. I just knew that unless I warmed it up, it was going to finally finish me off.
Alright, now this is where we present Iris's testimony here, because Iris's testimony says, was then in her room until the murder was discovered.
Yep.
So,
Witnesses have to undergo their own trials, I'm afraid. The defendant's fate rests on their powers of observation and memory, after all.
Well, well, well. Don't worry, I'm more than up to the task. I'm a woman of faith, after all, the head honcho of Hazakura Temple.
In that case, Miss Honcho, I'd like you to explain something for me. The discrepancy between your testimony and that of the defendant, Iris. She claims that after ringing the lights out bell, she went back and stayed in her room. Which means she did not go to the inner temple at all.
No! She said that?
A defendant or a witness? Who is more likely to lie, do you suppose? The defendant is simply lying to cover her back.
But that is completely illogical. The murder was committed in the courtyard of Hazagura Temple. Claiming that she went to the inner temple would make her a much better ally.
alibi.
You know what I meant to say.
Yep.
But that is odd. Whatever the reason, I can't believe that she would lie. She does indeed have honest eyes. Ah!
All people lie, that is my belief.
Why am I the only one being whipped in here?
Because you suck!
Anyway, neither the witness nor the defendant have any reason to lie. Which means, we must call your memory into question. Dear, dear, dear. You're older than me and yet you want to play that game, do you?
Oh, she's getting sassy!
Oh.
Well, it isn't exactly what I... My memory is perfect, crystal clear, especially in winter.
What does it have to do with anything?
I think it's just a callback to her talking about her back.
Then I suppose it's too early to end this cross-examination, eh? Mr. Edgeworth, if you are going to question the memory of this witness, you will need to show me a more decisive piece of evidence.
Understood, Your Honor. I was naive to think that alone would do the trick.
Really?
And please add your comments about Irish to the testimony. And let us return to the cross-examination.
Iris came to the inner temple. She was dressed exactly as she had been at dinner. Ah! She gave us the hood, though! So she couldn't have had that.
Yep. Present hood?
Oh, it's on the first page. It was on the first page.
Witness, let's get one thing straight. The defendant whom you claim to have met, she was wearing this demon-warding hood, correct?
Trademarked.
Of course! That is a very important piece of clothing, I'll have you know. Wait a minute.
Objection!
Hold it right there. Why do you have that?
That's the question of the day now, isn't it, Miss Von Karma? I'll have you know that this hood was given to someone as a gift that night, before the lights out bell was rung. What? You know where I'm going with this, don't you? If the witness had seen the defendant as she claims, the defendant couldn't have been wearing the very hood.
Well.
It seemed like an odd thing to say there. It's not a bad feeling at all, exposing contradictions like this. I bet it's going to suck whenever the prosecution starts going, but where's your evidence? I know I find it very satisfying to do it from the other end. Now I understand that happy look on Wright's face every time he does it.
Order! Order in the court! Witnesses but ah!
Sister! This hood. You have spare ones around the temple, don't you?
Spares, well, I do tend to make too many of them. I see. A stockpile, a surplus of hoods, eh?
Well, there goes that.
Each nun is only given one hood.
Oh.
This should be the only hood that Iris owned.
Ah.
Then this is quite strange. Why?
If there was a surplus of hoods, then she could have worn one of those. There is no contradiction here. I'm sorry to break this to you, Miss Von Karma, but you won't get away that easily. Discrepancies such as this will sow the seeds in any human heart. The seeds of doubt.
Witness? While I don't wish to call your testimony into doubt, you must give every detail with precision.
Doubt.
I'm not sure I'm comfortable going along with this.
Sister, you shall continue with your testimony. Or else. Tell us what you saw after finishing your bath on your way back to the inner temple. Those seeds of doubt are sprouting in the judge's heart. You just need a little more stimulation to bear fruit. Contradictory stimulation. Fire, ice, fire, ice, fire, ice.
After my bath.
Whoosh! Boom, boom.